Welcome to Creating Consistency, um, Better Brains for Babies. My name is Elizabeth from Shin Cartagena, and I work for K-State Research and Extension. Now we are a statewide network of educators sharing unbiased research-based information and expertise on issues important to Kansas. And we want to acknowledge that K-State Research and Extension is an equal opportunity employer, and therefore we do not discriminate against anyone. So if there's any special request or concern that you need to allow for you to attend our programs, please let us know. And before we start with the content of the workshop, we always will have an exercise that will help you with your mental health. And this one is a scenery that music, and when we put our mind on looking at what is presented in this video, it's going to help you to relax a little and disconnect with all these things that you have in your mind that can stress you out. So let's do this for a minute. We're going to need to stop sharing because I didn't share the audio. Well, that It's really relaxing. Well, one of the things that we're going to talk about this time is about consistency. And this is a phrase that you're going to see in every workshop. You can make a difference. And we will say, do not rely on other people. You as the person in a relationship with the children or child, you are the one that can make the difference. The other people can make their own difference, but you as a parent, as a mom, or as a dad, or as a grandparent, you individual, you personally can make the difference in a child's life. Consistency is important to the social, emotional, and cognitive development of babies and young children. Regularity, predictability, routine, orderliness, and setting and enforcing limits contribute to a positive, consistent environment. Repeated experiences in a consistent environment help strengthen networks of connection in the brain. These connections form the foundation of the development of trust in others, self-esteem, behavior regulation, and many other abilities. Children benefit from consistent environments, relationships, and interactions. Consistency provides repetition that strengthens connections in the brain. Positive, consistent environments help children develop trust, emotional security, and secure attachment. Consistent environments give children the security to feel relaxed, to be open to learning, and to learn how to manage their own behavior and make good decisions. When infants grow up in a regular, predictable world, they learn that they can trust their caregivers to meet their needs. Babies develop a sense of security when caregivers respond predictability and lovingly when they're crying, they're hungry, sleepy, or in the mood to play. Other children can learn to wait a little to have their needs met, but infants cannot be expected to wait until a certain time for someone to respond. Infants who know that they can depend on caregivers to meet their needs have a strong foundation to form secure attachment. Let's talk about orderliness. Having a regular, proper, and systematic arrangement, that's what orderliness means. It helps to bring peace and comfort in the environment. An orderly, organized environment helps children know what to expect and give them feelings of security and control. Orderliness helps us to speed through routine tasks practically without thinking when you have built a structure to do that. Everything has a house. So this is one thing that you can tell the kids. We have a house, and everything in the house has a house or a place. An orderly, organized environment helps children know what to expect and give them the feelings of security and control, like we said. And children know what, for example, that the toothbrushes are in the cup by the sink, and anytime, any day of the week, that's where they're going to find them. They know that the blocks are in the building corner. They learn where to put things when it's time to clean up. And even adults realize how stressful it is, or it could be when we cannot find something. We cannot find the keys, and then I put it here, and you took it, and then we start blaming others, and because we're frustrated because we can find them. But if we have a place for the keys, and we use it all the time, every time that we need it, we're going to find it in that same place. And keeping the environment reasonably orderly can reduce frustration and stress for children and parents as well. Let's talk about schedules and routines. The schedules and routines create predictability and stability for young children. Routines, which means doing the certain things in certain order at approximately the same time, help build children's self-confidence by making it clear what to do in a situation. Young children who cannot tell the time or verbalize the step in a routine can still remember and depend on because of the order of the routine that is going to happen all the time. And we can see that in, for example, a 2-year-old that knows what to do when he arrives or she arrives to the childcare. Maybe they have a routine that when they go there, they hang up the sweater or the backpack, wash their hands, and then find a toy to play with. And when the teacher sings the cleanup song, she puts the toys away and she or he lines up to go outside if that is the routine. So the child can successfully follow the routine, and that success will build self-esteem and encourage independence. And they feel so proud when they can do things by themselves now. Another thing that we're going to talk about is setting and enforce rules and limits. It is a very important aspect of consistency. The limits help children learn acceptable and unacceptable behavior, and over time, about making good decisions and regulating their own behavior. When children can organize and control their own behavior, they're better prepared to succeed in school and in life. Children can begin to learn self-regulation as early as age 3, not before. Because the part of the brain responsible for attention and behavior control to develop during this time. So we cannot, that's why we don't see the babies controlling themselves or children that are 1 or 2, because by 3, when they're 3 is when that brain has developed to start paying attention and to have that behavior control. Limits should be fair, easy for children to understand, and appropriate to children's age. We have to use words that are simple for the little ones and not talking to them like they're adults. The more you use their way of talking, it is easy for them to understand. Simple words, nothing like it is general, like we as an adult, people can give us general commands like, please clean that area, and you know exactly what they're talking about. But as a child, they don't have that concept yet, that general. You have to go in details. Well, this area means when you go in details, let's clean up the table, let's put the cups on the plates and utensils that you use, and just put it in the sink. That is the way that they will understand details. When they keep growing, they are not going to know more about general areas, but and that will come like when they're 20. And so we have to have those rules and limits that are fair, that they can understand, and they're appropriate for the children, the ages. Limits are more effectively when they are enforced immediately and consistently, without anger or violence, because you want them to have that brain that when you yell or you are violent, the body of the child is going to naturally is going to get that cortisol running to defend themselves, to run away from the threat. And the part of learning is not all the way awake because other part of the body, of the brain that is survival is at full speed. So you're going to calm yourself first, breathe in, breathe out, walk, or have a break, and then you talk to the child when you're calm. Okay, just think about that. That child's brain needs to listen and understand what you're saying for them to change what you think that is not appropriate. The best approach for very young children is to redirect their attention to a more appropriate item or activity. Remember that younger than 3, that brain is not there controlling the emotions and paying attention and focusing because it's after 3. Before that, you need to remove what you don't want them to touch or redirect the activity that you want them they're doing to another activity that is more beneficial for them. But there's no timeout, there's no spanking, anything like that. You're going to, and we're going to talk about the discipline on that age. That is pretty much redirecting, moving a child from another place that is, they can do something, activity that is beneficial for them. They're touching something, you better take the Barbie or take the car or take the bear instead of the scissors and stuff like that. Older children can learn by experiencing the consequences of their mate's behavior. Children learn quickly that leaving the cap off of the markers causes them to dry up, and then they won't be able to use it anymore. Adults should enforce limits without anger and violence, and we're going to repeat this again and again. We have emotions too, and we as a parent, we get angry and we get frustrated. But when you have to deal with your children, you have to control yourself first. You cannot bring understanding and peace to the child when you are all work out and in anger. You can expect the child to be calm then. No, you're passing to them your emotions. When adults calmly enforce limits, children learn that they are still loved, even when they have misbehaved, and they know that. But wow, my mom and dad didn't yell at me. You just want me to stop what I'm doing. But they still love me. Limits provide security because they help children learn what to expect. Each repetition of a rule or limit helps strengthen connection in the brain and help children begin to remember right from wrong. So that consistency, that repetition of the same thing is what stays in the brain. Limit setting should be in early childhood. As children get older, adults need to revise and expand limits to give children room to grow and learn. So that baby rule that you have, that child now is in school, then you have to change the rule because they are getting older. And that school age rule that you have, and that child is a teenager now, you have to change that rule to apply to that age. Sometimes we have teenagers and we still have those young rules or that young age rule when that child is grown a little bit more. And so that will be a problem. Or expecting the little one with rules of a teenager rule. So we have to match our rules with their age. So overly strict limits may actually slow brain development by restricting children from exploring the world. Everything is no, 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 don't do that, no, 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 no. And that child is always kind of like limited of what he can do or not. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with what they're asking, but we have that habit of saying, no, you're not going anywhere, you're not going to do this, you no, no. And so it just like, wow. I mean, can I go to the swing? No, 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 you're going to fall. And so that fear that we have limit the children to explore. And so that brain development is not um, developing healthy because of the fears of the caregivers or the parents, the child. Children need experiences to strengthen connections in the brain, and they need limits to keep them safe too, and to teach them how to make good decisions. And so example of consistency. So when that child has a need, the parents meet that need quickly. So that child has is cold or is maybe feels alone, or they need to be feel the mom or the dad warmth, or the way of my mom carries me is different from my dad, or my dad is different from my mom. It's all those things that child needs. One of the like inner needs that we have to the attachment. And following routines so children know what to expect. So that 1-year-old likes to go to sleep with reading a book or singing a song. So every day we'll do that. Mom does it, dad does it. And so that child knows that it's time to go to sleep. It's going to be something relaxed and with the people that he wants. That because mom reads a book kind of like with her sweet voice, but I like when dad tells me the story about the bear, and he, with his voice, he pretends to be a bear. And so all those things the children like when it's like a continuous thing, that because they bring that kind of peace, inner peace to in their brain. I'm going to sleep. I don't want to sleep, and I want to stay playing, but I know that when I go to sleep, it's going to be fun. And when in the morning I'm hungry, I know my mom will come and give me something warm, or my dad. And so all those routines that doesn't matter what's going on out there in my home, I have all that I need, and it's consistently. I can count on it. And enforcing the age appropriate rules and limits, that's what we talk about, is very important. The importance is the predictability minimize stress. When I know that after we eat, we have time to play, but I know when at lunch comes and I'm hungry, my mom or my dad will have something for me. That minimizes stress. But when a child has a need, I'm hungry, and nobody's, and somehow I'm telling them that I'm hungry and they don't pay attention to me, and my tummy hurt, and nobody helped me, I cannot make my food, I cannot make my sandwich, or so that age is, they depends on of the adults, and the adult is not there providing. That brings stress. It's like, when are they going to feed me, or when are they going to pick me up from school? It is, we don't know who's coming. All those things brings more stress. So the repetition reinforces brain connection. I know this is going to happen, and it is like nobody had to tell me. I know what's coming, and that makes me calm. knowing what to expect, build confidence and competence. I am confident that somebody's going to feed me. I am confident that if I cry or I'm sleeping, somebody's going to come and check on me. And that is something that I feel. I feel calm and I feel happy about this. The limits encourage self-regulation when, yeah, I am 3, I'm 4, and they told me to not to hit my sister, and I did. And now I'm in timeout, and my sister is crying. I don't want her to be feeling sad. I don't want to do that again. Or I want to play, but I'm in timeout. So I don't want to be in timeout. I just want to listen and remember what I have to do. And I don't have to go to timeout. I just go to play. So that is kind of like the regulation that we have as a child. And even in life, we try something that will turn out good, and then you're in trouble. It's like, I don't want to be in trouble. No, I have to get other ideas of how to do this. So this is a life skill that we develop. This is a cycle of needs. This is how we develop trust in people. Since we're born until we have the last day in this planet. They need, for example, the child needs the diaper changed. So it's dirty and I cry. So that's the arousal. I cry because I don't have words yet. And then mom comes, it's like, oh yeah, it's time to change your diaper. Let's do it. And that child knows that when he feels uncomfortable, the parents or the caregiver know, the caregiver take care of the diaper. Or I'm hungry, I don't know how to talk yet. I cry. So cry is a communication. And the mom said, oh, wow, yeah, it's time to eat lunch. And then they give me the food. And I trust that person that comes all the time when I need. Okay. And so when I'm older, I have words, I say, I'm hungry. And the mom said, oh, wow, yeah. It's almost time for lunch, but you can have a little snack before this. I think the lunch is going to be late. And so that it is met, and I trust my mom that I can tell her what I need. And I'm going to see her or my dad try to help me with that need. And it's the same like with us as an adult. I have a need. I tell somebody that I trust, hey, I have this problem, can you help me? And the person says, oh, just give me 5 minutes and I'll take you to the doctor, or I'll take you to the groceries, and yeah, I can help you. Or any need. And then you trust that person and you can count on that person. And my relationship gets very close to that person because of that connection and that desire that other person have to help. And I'm very appreciative. And I do other things for them because of how they are with us. And it's the same with the kid. Oh, for example, I have the same need. I tell my friend that I trust, and then she said in the gratification part, she said, don't call me for that. I'm not a bank, or I'm not Uber, or all the things I can say. And you're like, oh, really? I'm in great need, and that's how you respond to me. So my trust, it's like, oh man, I thought that we were close or we like each other. And then that trust started like changing. I'm not going to call her back to anything else. or and sometimes we try again, but if the pattern is like, don't call me, don't, then I said, okay, I don't plan on that person anymore. And then my relationships start like getting a little bit far, because wow, but I can count on that person. It's the same, it's for adults or for little kids, it's the same thing. The faster you come and you meet that need, the closer your child is to you, the less it's going to cry. Because with a little bit of cry, oh, yeah, let me check on the baby, or let me check on, the toddler, and they know. But if they tell you the need and nobody comes, nobody cares, that child is going to cry and cry. Remember, that's a communication. It's telling you, please help me here, mom, help me here, dad. And nobody comes, that trust is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And those are kids that they didn't develop that trust and attachment. And then later on in life, what they learned as a child, as a little kid, that remember it's a foundation for other relationships. And then it will be hard for them to trust people and to get close to people because their experience that they have. So predictability minimizes stress. The repetition reinforces brain reconnection. Knowing what to expect builds confidence and competence, and the limits encourage self-regulation. Attachment begins before they're born. Daily interaction shape the child's expectation and his or her responses. The quality of early attachment has a lasting impact on a children's development. It creates the template for future relationships. They develop attachment with many people. Each attachment is specific for the infant and adult. Early attachment teach what the child to expect in future relationships. Establishes pattern for the way the child connects with people later in life. This disrupt attachment can cause problems later in life, like we mentioned. So consistent and positive early interaction, like holding, gazing, smiling, kissing, singing, laughing, organize the brain to expect this kind of positive interaction. Over time, these interactions form wiring in the limbic system for secure attachment. Remember that there is the memory in the hippocampus. If interactions are negative or inconsistent, such as responding inconsistently or ignoring or yelling or criticizing or other form of abuse, the brain becomes wired for insecure attachment. Timing is critical, important, because the brain is rapidly organizing itself in the first years of life. Models of relationships become more difficult to modify as a child grows older. Remember the house, that you build the house and then to make changes, you will take money, manpower, time. You can change that window to another wall, or it will take all of that. And so it's better to have it well planned from the beginning. So that is why we're teaching these classes. So you have all the information that you need to help that child develop that brain healthy from the beginning, and not when it's later on in life that it's going to, you could make that change, but it's going to take more things and more manpower and techniques and everything to help a child achieve that. Flexibility. Being consistent does not mean never changing the schedule of routine, never changing the rules, or always being in control of a child's action. Flexibility is essential because children need change. Even when the basic routine is the same, some details could change from day to day. For example, children may ask parents, to read their bedtime story in the living room instead of the bedroom one night, and that's okay. Schedules also may change for special occasions such as birthdays or any celebration. As children get older, some routines may need to change to accommodate children's developing independence. And when children are secure in their regular routine, they learn to adapt to small changes more easily. Experiencing flexibility within routines help children learn to adapt without anxiety or stress. My mom or my dad picks me up every day from work, from school, but my mom have a doctor appointment and my dad have to work later. So my grandma is coming or my neighbor is coming. That's a change that I don't like. I don't really want my mom and my dad, even my grandma, but not a neighbor. That yeah, she's nice, but I don't know. I prefer my parents. And that will be for a day, but the next day will be the routine of mom or dad picking them up. And when the child is get used to those little changes sometimes, they're going to experience less stress because they're used to those little changes, knowing that that pattern will come back again. So what it is the effect of unpredictable environments? Well, the stress is going to be elevated because I don't know when they're coming. I don't know when they're going to feed me. I don't know if I am going to see them today. I don't know who's taking me to school because all the time is a fight. No, you take him or you take him. And all the things that children really, they're sponges. And even when they don't tell you how they feel, they're receiving everything that is happening in the house. They don't have those filters to say, okay, let me weigh which one would decide to take me. I know somebody's going to take me. The young ones, they don't have that kind of like filter. And they get all that stress. And because of that stress, they cannot have connections in their brain. Because what is in function, it is the survival part of my brain. Not the prefrontal one, that is the one that I'm learning, thinking, and making decisions. And reduces self-regulation because I'm nervous all the time. I'm stressed. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I cannot see that every day is the same thing. And so that makes me anxious and I can cry. I'm angry because please, I want some structure. I want some calm in this house. And they don't say that, but this is how inside they're feeling. Very quick, we're going to talk about the parenting style. Think about how you were raised and how you're raising your children. Think about what things you liked when you were raised and what things you didn't like. Think about what things you didn't like when you were a child that you are doing with your children. Because you're the witness of how that felt. But maybe we're doing the same thing with our children. And so thinking about those things then make us say, no, I don't want my child to feel like I felt. I need to change this. So it's for you to analyze in what changes you should be making. The first one is parents' way. So usually the parent does not express warmth or affection because if I get too close to my children, they won't respect me. It's very strict, often say no. The child's like, but why? Because I say so. Many rules because you're going to be a good person in life. The result of that is children tend to rebel or be resentful and don't learn to make choices and decisions, because all the decisions are made for the parents. This is what you're going to wear. This is where you want to eat, where you're going to do this and that. And there are things that the children can do by themselves that they don't make any, they're not ultimate decisions that are so important. You know, I want to put my yellow shirt today. No, no, no. You're going to put the blue one with this pants. Choosing the color of the shirt won't bring any problem. So those are things that the children can do. When they're older, when they are grown up, or when they're married, it is hard for them to make decisions because they don't have a chance to do that. And so when they are, for example, your kids go to school 5 days a week. When they're very little, like preschool, maybe you can choose their outfit, the sets, and you can say, okay, which one of those sets you're going to wear today? You are in control. That they go with clothes that are clean, that are not torn, but they will choose which one they're going to do. They want to wear. Instead of like, this is for Monday, this is for Tuesday, just let them choose, the children choose. And that is something that they're going to be used to, but you're still on control. Okay. So there are pros and cons with this style. And for example, that was my upbringing, and now I am very organized. I have structure. I'm clean. Whatever I set my mind to, I go, because that's the way they taught me to do it. But the cons is like, wow, they didn't have to be all the time looking for my faults. They were always looking for the negative things, because I don't know. Maybe they thought that pointing out the negative, you will fix yourself. I don't know what was their thinking, but receiving that negativity is like, wow, I don't do anything good, but I have good grades. Yeah, well, you don't put the books in your backpack on time, things like that. There are always the negative, and we have to really redirect ourselves or discipline ourselves to, if we have to do something negative, bring forward positive first. And then, because, we have things that parents have to point out for us to fix, But for one that you say negative, 4 have to come positive. So you know that child feels like you love them. And I know my parents love me, but it's just like, wow. I was happy when they did something like some comments that were positive, but many of them that were negative. Child's way is the other extreme. The kids are the one running the house. The parents don't have rules, too many rules, because the child is going to hate me. And it's hard to say no. So give up most control to the children. The rules are usually not consistently enforced. They want their children to feel free. They tend to accept in a warm and loving way, however the child behaves. Give children as many choices as possible, even when the child is not capable of making good choices because they're not mature enough. So those are permissive parents. The pros is, the attention that a child has. Then whatever he says, the parent is paying attention. And then the child feels like, I'm important. The cons is like when the parents gives in and there's no rule almost. What is the result? The children learn to whine, beg, and to manipulate adults. They don't learn to be responsible for their own actions because it was not me. It was because of you did it, you made me do it. And those are adults that you can tell that it's like, wow, how are they going to have a different life when it's not their fault? No, we're going to strive to be in the middle, love and limits. The parents have rules and stick to them consistently. They consider the children's feelings and needs. They consider their own feelings and needs. I'm angry, I should not be talking to my children now. Let me calm down. Let me breathe in and breathe out. Let me go for a walk because I am not happy. And they show love and respect for their children. Just because they're a little one, I need to respect them. That's a human being that I have to respect. And they have clear and fair guidelines that are appropriate for the children. They are flexible and have flexible expectations. The parents encourage growing autonomy and independence. Once you know how to put your clothes on, that you're going to do it right from now on. Once you know brush your teeth, I'm not brushing your teeth anymore. I'm going to watch that. Okay, don't miss anyone. And little by little, I'm going to believe that you're going to do it. And once in a while, I'll check anyway. But independence, because I believe in your intelligence, I believe in your skill. And when the child see the parents how they're taking their role, and it's like, wow, I'm important. My parents are even noticing that I know how to brush my teeth, I know how to do my bed, and they really praise me for things like that. And so the result is children feel loved and empowered. They're more responsible, they're respectful and self-sufficient. There's one style that is changing the pattern, the inconsistent parent. Parents experience a wide range of stress. It is easy to become focused on the stressor and lose sight of the children's behavior. Something serious may catch their attention because the children misbehave or did something that shouldn't be doing. Then they tend to overreact with harsh punishment. Then the parents may feel guilty and then overcompensate with gifts and overindulgence. So this part is confusing and harmful because in one moment, you're not watching what I'm doing and it's something that I shouldn't be doing. And then because I was not supervised, now the parents like, oh, what have you done? And then comes with the hard punishment. That was sometimes excessive. And then the parents like, oh, wow, I was out of line here. And then gifts or, oh yeah, you can go anywhere you want. You can go to your friend's house. And when that was before now. And so it's like, it's confusing. It's like the hammock bridge. It's up and down, up and down. When you go through that bridge, every time that you throw a step, that bridge is all wobbly. And even if they have kind of like the protection, the safeguard, they are so weak that you feel like you're going to flip. In this, the picture on the bottom is a hammock bridge, and some section, there's no rule, there's nothing, there's no supervision. So it's kind of like a symbol of a house that have rules, and sometimes they don't have any, and so on. So during the clothesline activity, we talk about jumping back and forth between the two extremes, the parents' way and the child's way. This pattern is common in families who are experiencing stress. that changing of pattern. So we have to pay attention when we're in stress to still be consistent for the sake of the children's inner peace and the environment in the house. And so we compare the bridge with the guardrails as the rules in the house. We have different bridges, we have different type of life. But when we have that safety rail with those rules that are consistent, doesn't matter. The first one on the top and the left is kind of like a whoa, that was like a roller coaster. The one on the side and the top right is curvy, but they have safety rail, they have the rules there. The left on the bottom is like up and down. The one in the middle of the bottom is kind of like when we have COVID. Nobody knew what was coming. So we cannot foresee and predict. And sometimes we have fears of life, and it's like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where I'm going to find this help or what I'm going to do. I need to change jobs, or I don't have a job. But still the house, the rules continue, and we're going to make it. Yeah, COVID was the perfect example that nobody knows. I know it's not just your house, it was everybody was an uncertainty, and they cannot predict. And we have to predict. As a human being, we have to predict what's coming, to have peace and to be calm and relaxed. And sometimes it's just like, and like we don't want to, for example, as a child, we don't want to go to the doctor and have a shot, but we have to go through that. And with the support of the parents and the environment that is calm, yeah, and you're going to have that, it's going to hurt a little bit, but we're going to put a band-aid, and I'm going to kiss that area, as a little one. But it is, that's life. But the one in the middle on the right side is the one that has support all the time. And with rules, it will be fine with any type of life. But at home, we have to have rules so we can be guided and we can make it. The difference between punishment and disciplines are here. So punishment is an effective discipline method. And a positive discipline teaches children what to do and how to behave in a responsible way. Parents have many discipline tools available to them. However, many parents use only one or two tools. So one method that many parents use is punishment. So which parenting style often uses punishment as a discipline tool? The parent way. Punishment is not an effective discipline tool. However, many other positive tools are available when we use love and limits. Parents are a bit like carpenters. The right tools can make a big difference in the results. Let's learn about some of the tools that we can use in the love and limits style of parenting. But before that, this is the difference between punishment and discipline. So punishment takes away a behavior, but do not replace with a solution to not keep making it. Inflicts harm in the name of good, damaging self-esteem, because usually you're attacking the kid, the person, and we should be attacking or dealing with the action. Allows parents to vent anger and to lose control, can be dangerous and lead to physical abuse, and does not allow child to correct the situation. Remember, we cannot read mind. So I think that was the way that I was raised. You have to figure out what the adults are thinking, what they want. Now, we are going to use discipline because discipline is disciple is a student and you are the teacher. So you are a teacher. Just think about what a good teacher you have in school taught you something. They came with very simple rules of what they want to teach. They put an example. You went to the workbook and apply it. And then if you were not getting it, then she would explain it again. And when you went to the workbook again and work on it, you can have many questions. And the teacher will tell you, okay, you're getting close. What other options we have until you get it? And that's you as a parent. The disciplines try to replace an unwanted behavior with a desired behavior. So the behavior he or she had, they're going to tell them why it's not acceptable and what is the acceptable. Discipline is firm, consistent, but it's gentle. Remember how we want to tell our children. There are our children. The respect is there, the gentleness when you say something, your voice, your presence. You are not coming like you are going to, like a master. Just calm yourself and come and tell them. We said that we're going to walk in the house because you can hurt yourself, you can hurt your sibling, or you can break something in the house. And we want our house to be nice. Outside is where you can run, there's a lot of space. This is how you're going to teach your children. Discipline takes time and planning, but encourages the children to be responsible for the behavior. So you explain that, the child runs, and you come here. Okay, come here. Well, we talk about running in the house. And you help him to remember why. And you say, if you run again, you have to sit down in that corner to think why we are not running in the house. Why are we going to walk? So if the child does that again, you remember, let's go to the timeout and think about we need to walk in the house. So it takes time, but once you are teaching them, explaining why the rule that you made is what is the reason, and if they broke the rule, what is the consequence? You have to have the consequence first. So they can choose, am I going to keep running and be in timeout, or am I going to control myself and wait until I'm outside to run? The parents are in control of their own emotion. Like I said, if I'm angry, if I'm frustrated, I'm not going to say a word to my children until I'm calm. And the discipline builds the child's self-esteem because they know that you have explained and that was their own decisions, not the parents. The parents took the time to help them to understand why it's appropriate and everything. And they even told them that if that doesn't happen, this is a timeout, or this is how you're going to give me the tablet, or you're going to give me the phone. Okay. So my rules have to be reasonable, age appropriate, and to have the knowledge. Assess whether your child is old enough to do what is expected to do. Some expectations are not reasonable because it is not humanly possible to achieve at any age. For example, forbidding someone to wet the bed during the night is unreasonable because it's impossible to have conscious control of the bladder when you sleep. Once you're sleeping, your brain is the one taking care of everything. So if that child is putting the bed, it's not on purpose because no child wants to be ashamed that way because they know they shouldn't be doing that. So if that is happening, you have to then check. Go to the doctor and check that all the body is functioning well. If everything is well, okay, what is, then we have to go, that was physical, then we have to go to the emotional part. Because human beings are physical and emotional, social emotional. So you as a person, what's going on? Are you stressed out? Are you in terror of something? Um, what is going on? Maybe they're being bullied and they can say anything. Maybe they have been sexual abuse and they can say anything. Maybe they can be threatened uh, and they can say anything. And that's how the brain is sending signals. Telling a child not to feel sad, scared, or angry. That is something that is unfair. Your feelings are a natural result of the way you react to what happened to you. A full range of emotions make us human. So now that we are in close to Halloween, if your child is scared, you say, "Oh, I understand. Yeah, that women there with that black thing, the witch. Yeah, they have like something like a battery that they put in the back, something that they understand. Then when you move, then they have like a little machine inside, and then they move and then start making noises. That's why. But don't say, "Oh, don't be afraid." Why are you scared about this thing? Well, you have more information than them. And all you have to do is give you that information, and still it's scary. Because even myself knowing it, it scares me because it doesn't tell me that it's coming. You just jump on me. And so waiting for a young child to clean up his room or expecting him to sit for an hour is unreasonable. Children that are younger than 4 or even at 15 minutes, their brain cannot handle to be sitting. Even when I was teaching kindergarten or pre-K, the hour circle time cannot be more than 15 minutes. After that, the children are going to be wiggling and touching others, and because the brain needs activity. So if you have to go to a place and you have to have more than 15 minutes, bring something for them to cope with that, like a toy or a coloring book or a snack, things like that, because naturally they cannot handle it. You can push the child to be what it shouldn't be doing because the brain development, and you're going to have that child angry. And there's so many things that we sometimes do that we make our children upset and angry, and then they keep everything inside, and then when the teenager time comes, it's just like, whoo, just a volcano that came, because all the things that we're pressing the children to do that they are not able to do naturally because their brain is not there yet, the development. Also, we have to take in consideration the temperament. Children with strong tempers will sometimes become more emotional than those who are calm. In pleasant moments, children with strong temper are bubbly with joy, and they're helpful. But when time that comes that are not pleasant, they explode in fury and anguish and anger as if the world is ending. The children should be guided into a responsible way of expressing strong feelings, and the parent has to adjust his discipline style to accommodate a child's personality. If my child is calm, every child is going to make mistakes and they're going to misbehave. And if my child is calm, I'm just calm like that. Talking calmly. If my child has a strong temper, then I have to be more firm, not angry with them, but the way that he understands that I'm serious when I'm talking, and you don't have to raise your voice or anything. So while talking about the limits or rules, we have to be clear avoiding confusion. That means we have to describe what we want in detail. And so clear limits tell the children what we expect from them. And children who understand limits are more likely to assume responsibility for their actions. The limits have to be instructive, that means in detail. You have to really, really explain every little thing. Children should not be blamed or punished for failing to do what the parents never made it clear in the first place. The best limits tell children what to do, when to do, and how well it should be done. And remember, we are experts on cleaning and organizing, but as a child, when you are a child, you have to really work little by little. And so that's how we're going to expect our children. Little by little, we're going to make that explanation. And so positive, everything has to be positive, has to be consistent. And those are the ways that we're going to discipline our children. I have to keep going. It's a little bit longer today, but go back and read those. Sometimes we have to read more. And the timeout is a minute per age. I'm sorry, this is a little bit longer. One of the most important things to remember is that early experiences create expectation, which alter perceptions. This is how the brain wires itself and in all areas of development. You can make a difference. And here's the evaluation. So let us know when you're done, and we're going to send the next lesson. Thanks for coming.